All right, y'all. Look, we about to get into some poetry. Look.
I keep watching Cosby Show reruns. Cliff called. Claire said she won't accept the charges. Rudy, Vanessa, and Denise won't stop dancing. Theo keeps beatboxing and rapping in a British accent, and Cockroach just wants to learn how to do the Cabbage Patch. Kavanaugh just won't see justice. Harvey Weinstein needs to find... Harvey Weinstein just keeps on running, and Kevin Spacey needs to find out how much space will be in the bottom of his cell at the top of his house of cards. Heed the warnings from those who are not meant to be heard from again. Don't act like you're going to save them. Don't act like you're going to the graveside. Heed the warnings. Preach. So that's just donation.
Yes. Heed the warning. Heed the warning. I like that because that kind of tied into what I just said.
Yeah.
Interesting. See how the universe works, y'all? See how that just all played out? Like, heed the warning. Y'all, hey, we got Martell on the mic and Preach the Poet in the house, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So, can you introduce your friend? You know, let us know who he is. What's up?
More introduction,
Art
bro.
by Martin. Okay. First of all, Art by Martin. I met this man in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Looking at his art. You know, relating to his art, but humble. Man, a very few words, unless he want to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, amazing artist, very deep. You know what I mean? When I say deep, not just deep, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's just this really deep concept, like like just real deep, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something when you see somebody's art and then you look at it and it makes you feel the type of way, and you go to them and be like, hey, what does this mean? And they just like, it just means this. And it's so simple, but it's never just simple with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's never just simple. It's never just a one-way street. It's just, it's so much, but then at the same time, it's always love. You can see the love that he has for himself and for his people. But yeah, just, I mean, not just an amazing artist, amazing friend, amazing brother. At Dungeon Poetry, Martell did a live painting of the people in the crowd. And people were moving around, people were getting up and down, and all of that. This man did a live painting of the crowd, of like the crowd as it changed, and it was so beautiful. People were hating, people were mad, trying to take the picture, they couldn't have it. They couldn't have it.
Oh, trying to take a picture of your art?
Yeah.
Gotta pay you right.
You know.
Yeah. For sure. Know your worth. Yeah, that's what's up.
You gonna spit some?
Yeah, but you got it though. You can kick it off.
So let me get this straight really quick though. You paint and you also do poetry.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, let's not put an and on there. It's other things too, but you know.
There's more.
Yeah, for sure.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, God, just you done wonderful things.
Your lineup.
Man,
Man,
what's up.
Renaissance man. He a Renaissance man.
That is what's up. Okay, I'm ready, guys.
I bet you started tripping when you found out the sky was falling. See, you got scared, you cut your hair, look up to the sky and started pausing because God said this is the first time in a long time he didn't see you calling. So you need to talk to Allah, Elohim, Jah, or whatever you want to call him. I went to the Rasta man's house, said I need an answer for my problem, so he passed me a spliff, said he needed 4 O's without a comma. No, wait, you really need 4 O's without Obama, so who's the real terrorist, Hussein or Osama? So I went to the White House, said I need a solution to my world's problem, so he passed me a long noose with a pair of handcuffs. But with my third eye, I realized that wasn't enough. So they gave me an address to a McKinney, Texas warehouse that was full of swimming pools and bodies with no whereabouts. And I bet they didn't want to let you find out to see our forefathers like to rape nations and little girls too. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. A lot of their wives were young, or maybe it was just a few, the proud, the brave, the Navy. So dear brother soldier, I don't want you to think that we took your name in vain, but your dedication only adds to the corruption of this racist nation. Now that you know that, I bet you're tripping. See, the sky has already been falling. You already gotten scared. You already cut your high, look up to the sky and started bawling blood because you're starting to fall out of love with your own people, brother soldier. Speaking of people, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, no, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, no, we the people. Fuck that. We the people of the tribe of Shabazz, the original man. In order to form a union stronger than any police force across the nation to establish justice for ourselves. Cause see, I'm tired of getting put in these Plainview, Texas jail cells. And when you go into this cell, you see me hanging from the ceiling with crack sprinkled on my back and weed pressed down into my lungs. And they claim there was pain induced by self-suicide. Rest in peace, Sandra Bland. When you spit that piece at the Aaliyah tribute, that's why I told y'all I had a piece about Sandra Bland. But it's beautiful because I have a homie, her nephew.
Was that the end?
Oh,
because I sure shouted out while you were performing. I'm like, oh shit.
Her nephew is one of my best friends.
Oh, wow.
So it's something, you know what I'm saying, just to see it, and you know, when you see people in the news, you know, and it's like it gotta hit home for some people, and it hurts when it does, but it has to hit home for certain people.
When I tell you on that Sandra Bland part, I skipped like half of her segment because I was about to cry. Even when I rehearse it, that part, it just makes me so emotional. And I was like, when I get up there and I do it this time, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to cry. And then I was up there and then oh shit, I'm about to cry. And then I just had to skip to the end. Like, I just had to just bring it down. And, you know, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but there was a pause. Because I was like, I can't do it. I can't get through it. So I had to just get to the end and end the poem and get off stage. Because, man, that was so wrong. So wrong. And then how they post a picture of her as if she was still alive. Like, rest in peace to Sandra Bland and to all our kings and queens whose life was ended due to police brutality and racism.
Yeah, Art by Martell about to spit for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Truth be told, right? Truth be told.
Either you with it or not at all. Ain't no such thing as halfway, go big or go home. If you should go for a steal, no reason to be alive if you don't live to the fullest. Dead ass, I'm out for dead prayers, not to represent me, but get my family in better positions. You see, real men drink water, stay with their women, raise their daughters and little mans too. Teach them what they didn't learn in school, like ancient history and how God dwell in you and me. That's word of prodigy, survival of the fittest in this quiet storm. They control what you see, poison what you eat, gentrify your living. We all have evolved into modern day slavery. Queen look beyond, king look within. We weigh more than our physical form. Hey black child, do you know who you are? In this world we're living in, we need self-discipline. Conquer the serpent that be lurking when negative thoughts creep in. Hit him with that Luke Kane, flying kicks, hand flame. I'm not black, that's a color. How we treat each other shouldn't be based on our skin tone. I am infinite, a spirit being having a human experience. You ain't heard nothing if you ain't hearing this. I suggest you pray, read books, beware synchronicity. One love.
Yes. Everybody give some snaps, I know that y'all are really feeling this right now. You're loving this interview. You're loving the dopetry. Man, that's dope. I mean, really quick, just for those that are tuned in right now, can you let everybody know like where to follow y'all?
Yeah, Art by Martell. And that's on anything that you have, I have, Art by Martell.
Art by Martell, bet.
Preach the Poet, on all social media platforms, Preach the Poet, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you feel me? Preach the Poet, simple as that.
Dope.
Go ahead and hustle it's in your DNA. Watch your surroundings, man, that place is filled with hate. Go ahead and grind, young man. Fill your plate before you take out that beef. Better know what's at stake, but it ain't no love.
Dope. That's what I like. I want some more.
My shadows followed me. They snickered and jeered in jagged protest, holding Bibles in one hand and bourbon bottles in the other, asking for peace between pieces of De La Soul and Aretha. Family function, grandma laughing, telling us y'all kids better watch out for Uncle Joe. Grandma passed 2 weeks later. She said, y'all kids better watch out for Uncle Joe. walking over soil that God said was not sacred. Lost vines in a place with no fruit trees, we sat circle in unison, quoting in rotation, playing break beats on hide and thin twine. It was all amazing. The elder, skipping over the skirt tails from the fire, calling out to him to come dance. He came out, clutching his scriptures, holding his bourbon bottle, crying out that I have to hold on to my spirits, smiling knowing that he knew the earth was speaking to him. She asked him to drink from her waters with his eyes open during her chlorine confessionals, and she said, this man shall not burn. During my rising, she said, call out to my brother in the east, and as he dances, we shall rise, sirens blaring. Blue and red lights bleeding between two apartment buildings in the back way of an alley. Drunken man, clutching his bourbon bottle, dancing to the bullets, banging against the walls, walking on tightrope. Cop calls and says, stop dancing. Uncle Joe says, I have a question for you, officer. When you dance, do you like De La Soul or Aretha? Uncle Joe died that day. Preach.
That joint give me chills every time I hear it, bro.
I'll do just a background on that piece. That piece I wrote, I told myself I wanted to tell a story of just the consistent murder of, you know what I'm saying, African American males through police brutality, but like as their deaths, you know what I'm saying, kind of like what it means to us, you know what I'm saying, and that dancing to me is a form of conversation, you know what I'm saying, and it's a form of connection. Like when you dance on soil with your bare feet, you have like a legitimate connection, and like you have to understand that as our physical bodies are just portals. You know what I'm saying? They're just conductors. It's just like when you put a battery in an electronic that requires batteries. Like that battery is going in there, but that battery completes the circuit. It allows that electricity to keep on running. And when you dance and you allow your emotions to come out through your dancing, you know what I'm saying? It could be so many other factors around it, but just that simple dance and that expression of yourself, you know what I'm saying? We need that. You know what I'm saying? Not just dancing, it's through our artists, through, you know what I'm saying? It's through our conversation, it's through our signs of love between each other, and through our touching, and just even the simplest things, like, you know what I'm saying, peace comes, man, peace comes. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, peace comes, man.
That was dope. I mean, I felt it. I was touched. I think, like, I haven't even been drinking that much wine, but I think because I have not eaten lunch today, that wine's starting to hit, so I think I'm done with that.
Can you spit a poem?
Yeah,
we out here spitting. I'm saying,
man, look, they know how I do, man. Turn on the news. I see a mother crying justice. Black child murdered cold-blooded in the public. Voted Democrat, but the nation feels Republic. High off what they feed us now, addicted to their substance. Lord, help us because we're dying and your people suffering. Be with the ones walking around, living, feeling nothing. Because when there's nothing to lose, you'll probably lose it all. Don't care what nobody says, especially the laws. Because being angry will only make you do some bad things. Not caring of the consequence of what it could brings. Not heeding family or thinking with morality, because systematically it's tragic, but you're bound to be. Walking down the street and get shot up or locked up, so wake up and go make a difference. It's time to take a stand and reunite until they let our people go. Because I'm feeling like we're down to our last option. Is it time to fight back or do we keep marching? I don't know, but every day is getting harder. Seeing little girls growing up without their fathers. I remind myself it wasn't that long ago when we were being whipped or found hung by a rope. Now it's 2018, but a different form of slavery. And I hate to see a black man throw away his destiny. Why can't we be as equal? Successful and wealthy instead of in a bracket falling in and out of poverty. Is it a plan of marketing twisted with psychology that we don't even know that's happening in our society? Is it a plan of marketing twisted with psychology that we don't even know that's happening in our society? If you look a little deeper at what's going on, you will see that every plan has its own flaw. So I will take a stand and I will fight until they let our people go. Float. Look, I'm finna steal your